There's a point in every genuine connection where words no longer carry the meaning. Actions do. When a woman begins to trust you, it's not loud or dramatic. It's quiet, subtle, almost hidden. She starts to open herself not through desire, but through trust. She gives you her honesty, her calmness, and her care. Little pieces of herself that she doesn't offer to just anyone. In this video, we'll explore 10 hidden signs a woman wants to give herself to you. Not in a physical sense, but emotionally, spiritually, and sincerely. These are the signs that reveal when she feels safe, respected, and deeply connected to who you are at your core. If you appreciate insights like these about emotional connection, human behavior, and genuine relationships, make sure to subscribe to Psychology Tips for more daily videos that help you understand people on a deeper level. Number 1. She starts to let you into her inner world. When a woman begins to let you into her inner world, it is one of the most meaningful things she can do. It's not about romance or attraction alone. It's about trust. It's about her quietly deciding that your presence feels safe enough for her to lower the walls she's built through years of experiences, lessons, and sometimes pain. Letting someone into her inner world means she's allowing you to see who she really is, not the polished version the world sees, but the raw, honest, and human version that exists beneath the surface. This process is gentle, often slow, and rarely obvious. It unfolds not through grand gestures, but through small, meaningful moments that reveal the truth of her heart. Let's explore what it truly means when a woman starts to open that door and the reasons behind it. 1. She feels safe in your presence. The foundation of emotional openness is safety. When a woman starts to share her inner world, it's because she feels emotionally safe, not judged, not rushed, and not pressured to be someone she's not. You may notice she begins to relax around you. Her tone softens, her words become more personal, and her guard starts to come down. She's not performing or calculating. She's being. It's not that she lacks strength. It's that she finally senses that your presence allows her to rest. In a world where many women feel they must always be composed, that sense of safety is rare and deeply valued. 2. She begins to share her private thoughts. When she begins to speak about her beliefs, her struggles, or the things she worries about when she's alone, you are no longer an observer. You've become part of her inner circle. These moments might come quietly, maybe during a late conversation, a walk, or a message that carries more emotion than usual. She doesn't just tell you what happened, she tells you how she felt about it. That distinction matters. It means she's no longer guarding her emotional truth. She trusts that you'll not only listen, but understand, or at least try to. 3. She talks about her past without fear of judgment. Everyone has a history, memories that shaped them, choices that changed them, and mistakes that taught them. When a woman begins to talk about her past openly, it means she stopped fearing your reaction. She's decided that your respect for her isn't conditional upon perfection. This is one of the purest forms of vulnerability. She's saying in her own way, I want you to know where I've come from, because I want you to understand who I am. It's not about seeking sympathy or approval. It's about emotional honesty. She's showing you the road she's walked, both beautiful and difficult, because she believes you can handle that truth. 4. She shares her dreams and goals with you. When a woman begins to let you in, she doesn't only talk about the past, she also lets you glimpse her future. She might start talking about her goals, her ambitions, and the life she wants to build. Sometimes she includes you in those thoughts indirectly, saying things like, I'd love to do that someday, or that's something I really want to work toward. When she opens up about her dreams, she's revealing what gives her life meaning. She's sharing her why. That's not casual. It's an act of trust. It shows that she values your opinion, your perspective, and perhaps even your encouragement. 5. She shows you her emotional depth. Emotional depth isn't shown through constant words. It's felt through presence. When a woman starts to let you in, she begins to express emotions she might usually hide. Sadness, worry, hope, or gratitude. You'll see more nuance in her. The quiet sigh when she's thinking, the soft smile when she feels seen, the tears she doesn't try to hide. She's not performing emotions, she's living them openly around you. That's a sign that she trusts your empathy, that you'll believe she'll hold her emotions with care instead of criticism. 6. She invites you into her personal space, gradually. Emotional openness often mirrors physical openness, though not in a romantic way. She may invite you into places that matter to her. Her home, her favorite cafe, her family circle, or even her creative world. These invitations are not about convenience. They're about comfort. She's saying, "This is part of who I am, and I want you to see it." When a woman feels free to let you experience her environment, it means she's blending her outer world with her inner one, a step that only happens with genuine trust.
Number 2, she shows you her unfiltered self. There's something deeply meaningful when a woman begins to reveal her unfiltered self. It's not about appearances, charm, or surface-level impressions. It's about emotional transparency, a quiet trust that says, "I can be real around you." When she lets down her guard and allows you to see who she truly is, not the polished version she shows to the world, that's when you know you've earned something far deeper than attraction. You've earned respect, comfort, and emotional honesty. This openness doesn't arrive suddenly. It unfolds slowly, layer by layer, as her comfort with you deepens. Here are the key reasons and signs behind this beautiful shift. When a woman shows you her unfiltered self. 1. She feels emotionally safe around you. When a woman feels she can express her thoughts without being judged or dismissed, she begins to relax into authenticity. Emotional safety isn't built through grand gestures, it's built through consistency. It's when you listen without interruption, respond thoughtfully, and create space for her to be herself. In that safety, she no longer feels the need to measure every word. She knows her emotions, even the messy or uncertain ones, will be met with understanding, not criticism. That sense of emotional safety is the foundation of any genuine connection. 2. She trusts that you see beyond her walls. Many people wear emotional armor in everyday life. A woman who reveals her unfiltered self is showing that she trusts you can see beyond that protective layer, and that you won't misuse that access. She's showing faith that you can handle her truth, her doubts, her opinions, her imperfections, without trying to fix or judge her. This trust takes time, but when she starts to share her honest thoughts, even the ones that make her vulnerable, it means she sees you as someone steady enough to handle her reality. 3. She stops trying to impress you. In the early stages of connection, people often present their best selves, polished, confident, and in control. But as trust deepens, that surface layer fades. When she no longer feels the pressure to impress you, that's a quiet but powerful sign. She stops curating her words. She might laugh loudly, express uncertainty, or show moments of clumsiness. Instead of trying to be perfect, she simply is. That's not carelessness, it's comfort. It's the kind of comfort that comes from knowing she's accepted for who she truly is, not who she thinks she should be. 4. She shares her real opinions, even when they differ from yours. When a woman shares her unfiltered self, she doesn't just agree to keep the peace. She speaks honestly, even when her perspective challenges yours. This doesn't come from a desire to argue, it comes from respect. She values the space between you enough to bring her real thoughts into it. In healthy communication, disagreement isn't a threat, it's a sign of trust. It means she believes your connection is strong enough to handle honesty without fear of rejection. 5. She opens up about her past without hiding behind a mask. When she talks about her past experiences, not to seek pity, but to help you understand her better. It's a profound act of openness. This doesn't mean she overshares or seeks validation. Instead, she allows glimpses into her story, the moments that shaped her, the lessons she learned, the challenges that made her stronger. Sharing these details shows she's not afraid of being seen. She's not pretending to be untouched by life. She's showing that she's human, resilient, and real. 6. She allows you to see her in moments of vulnerability. True comfort reveals itself in quiet moments, when she's tired, uncertain, or emotional. If she doesn't feel the need to put on a brave face around you, it's because she trusts that her softer sides are safe in your presence. She knows she won't be mocked for being human. It's in these unfiltered moments, a sigh, a pause, a confession of worry, that emotional connection deepens the most.
Number 3. She listens deeply and without distraction. There's something quietly powerful about a woman who truly listens. In a world filled with noise, where everyone is trying to be heard, a person who chooses to be present, who listens without interrupting, judging, or rushing, stands apart. When a woman listens deeply, she's not just hearing your words, she's understanding the person behind them. It's not about curiosity or politeness, it's about connection. And when she listens without distraction, she's telling you, silently but clearly, you matter here. Let's explore what this kind of listening means, why it's rare, and how to recognize it when it happens. 1. She makes you feel like time slows down. When she's fully present with you, it feels like the rest of the world fades away. Her attention isn't split between her phone, her surroundings, or her thoughts. It's on you. That kind of attention is rare. It's not about romantic interest. It's about value and respect. She's giving you the most precious thing any human can give, undivided focus. It's her way of saying, you're safe to express yourself here. I'm not rushing you. I'm listening. That moment of stillness, where she's simply there with you, is often more meaningful than any grand gesture. Number 2. She doesn't just hear, she understands. When listening deeply isn't about waiting for her turn to speak, it's about seeking to understand what you truly mean. When a woman listens with sincerity, she pays attention to your tone, your pauses, your choice of words, the things that reveal what you feel, not just what you say. She may ask gentle questions to understand your point of view more clearly. She might even notice what you don't say, the thoughts you're holding back, the feelings you hesitate to reveal. This isn't guessing, it's emotional awareness. She's tuned in not just to your language, but to your emotional presence. Number 3. Her body language shows calm engagement. You can see deep listening in her posture. Her shoulders soften, her eyes stay focused, and her face reflects quiet empathy. She doesn't look around the room or check her phone. Her body says, I'm here with you. Those small physical cues matter. They create a safe emotional space, a moment where you feel truly seen, not because she's analyzing you, but because she's attuned to you. That calm, still, attentive energy often tells you more than words ever could. Number 4. She remembers what you said even weeks later. When someone listens deeply, they retain details, not because they're trying to impress you, but because your words meant something to them. She remembers what kind of advice you gave her, the book you mentioned, or the person you once said inspired you. This is the difference between hearing and absorbing. Her memory isn't photographic, it's emotional. She's paying attention because she values what comes from your mind and heart. That memory is how she quietly tells you, what you share stays with me. Number 5. She doesn't rush to fix you, she lets you be heard. When a deep listener understands that not every problem needs a solution, sometimes people just need to feel understood. When a woman listens deeply, she doesn't interrupt with advice or rush to make things better. She gives you space to express what you're feeling. even the uncomfortable parts. She's not there to correct your thinking. She's there to honor it. And that's a rare kind of emotional maturity, one that makes even silence feel supportive. Number 6, she's emotionally present, not just physically there. Many people can sit beside you and still be somewhere else mentally, but when a woman is emotionally present, you feel it. She's not pretending to listen. She's truly engaged. Her expressions change naturally with the tone of your story. Her responses are thoughtful, not mechanical. She doesn't drift away or give short answers. She absorbs. That presence has power. It reminds you that genuine connection isn't about constant talking, but shared understanding. Number 7, she reflects back what you meant, not just what you said. When someone listens deeply, they can reframe your thoughts with surprising clarity. You might say something uncertain, and she'll respond with words that make your meaning clearer, sometimes even clearer than you realized yourself. This isn't manipulation or analysis. It's empathy in motion. She's listening with both her mind and her heart, interpreting your meaning with care. It's how she builds emotional alignment, quietly, respectfully, and sincerely. Number 8, she creates a calm energy around you. When a person listens deeply, they don't just offer words, they offer peace. Her energy becomes grounding. You feel calmer just by talking to her because you sense that she's not judging or waiting for her turn. This calmness doesn't come from perfection, it comes from compassion. She understands that to listen well, you must first quiet your own need to be understood. When she listens this way, you don't feel pressured to perform or impress. You simply feel accepted.
Number 4, she defends you when you're not around. There's something quietly powerful about someone who stands up for you when you're not in the room. Someone who defends your name, your character, and your intentions when others may misunderstand or misjudge you. It speaks volumes about loyalty, integrity, and the kind of connection that goes far beyond surface admiration. When a woman defends you in your absence, it's not because she feels obligated. It's because she sees something genuine in you, something worth protecting. She recognizes your value, even when others might overlook it. And she refuses to let your reputation be diminished by careless words or assumptions. Let's explore what it really means when she defends you when you're not around, and the deeper reasons behind such an action. Number 1, she believes in your character. When she speaks up in your defense, it's not about winning an argument, it's about truth. She's seen the kind of person you are through consistent behavior, how you treat others, how you handle stress, and how you stay composed in difficult situations. So when someone questions your integrity or makes unfair remarks, she doesn't stay silent. Her belief in your character outweighs the discomfort of confrontation. That belief comes from observation, not hearsay. She's watched how you respond with patience, humility, and respect. And because of that, she feels confident speaking on your behalf. It's rare to find someone who defends others based on first-hand understanding rather than emotion. But she does exactly that because she knows who you truly are. Number 2, she values fairness and integrity. Her decision to defend you often comes from her moral compass. She cannot stand to see unfairness, especially when it involves someone she respects. It's not necessarily about personal affection, it's about principle. If people twist your words, exaggerate your flaws, or judge you without knowing the full story, she feels compelled to restore balance. She's not trying to be a hero. She simply believes that truth matters. Her defense reflects her own integrity. It reveals her courage to do what is right, even when silence would be easier. And that's something that speaks not only about how she sees you, but also about who she is. Number 3, she understands your intentions. One of the most telling reasons she defends you is because she understands why you do what you do. Even if others misread your actions, she's taken the time to see beyond appearances. She knows the difference between mistakes and malice, and she recognizes sincerity when she sees it. So if someone criticizes you unfairly, she can explain your side, not to justify, but to clarify. She helps others see that your decisions often come from a thoughtful place. This kind of understanding is rare because it requires emotional intelligence, the ability to interpret, not just react. Her defense is not blind loyalty. It's grounded in understanding. Number 4, she's maturely emotional. Defending someone behind their back isn't easy. It requires self-control and wisdom. An immature person might gossip, stay neutral to avoid discomfort, or change opinions based on convenience. But she doesn't do that. When someone questions you unfairly, she calmly redirects the conversation or reminds others of your good qualities. She doesn't insult anyone. She simply brings fairness back into the discussion. Her ability to stay composed shows her maturity. She can handle conflict without adding more to it. Her maturity makes her a rare kind of person, one who uses her voice not to dominate, but to defend truth. Number 5, she respects you even in your absence. One of the purest signs of respect is how someone speaks about you when you're not there. When she defends you, it means her respect isn't conditional on your presence. She doesn't speak kindly to your face only to stay silent when others criticize you. Her respect runs deeper than appearances. In your absence, she still values what you bring, your character, your steadiness, your way of treating people with dignity. That quiet consistency tells you something important. She's not performative. She's genuine. Number 6, she's protective of what's right. Sometimes her defense of you comes from a protective instinct, not in a possessive way, but in a moral sense. She sees how hard you've worked to build trust and credibility, and she doesn't want to see that undermined unfairly. If others misinterpret your actions or spread negativity, she becomes a silent shield, not because she wants recognition, but because she doesn't want falsehood to take root. Her defense is not about taking sides, it's about standing for what's right. She doesn't let untruths define someone she knows to be sincere.
Number 5, she mirrors your emotional energy. There is something quietly powerful about the way two people begin to align when trust grows between them. It's not forced, it's not planned. It's an invisible rhythm that starts to form, a shared pulse between two emotional worlds. When a woman mirrors your emotional energy, it isn't manipulation or mimicry. It's connection. It's her heart's way of saying, I feel where you are, and I want to meet you there. This reflection often happens without her realizing it, through her tone, her expressions, her pace, and even her mood. It's one of the most subtle but meaningful signs of emotional attunement. Let's explore what this really means and why it's so important to recognize. 1. Emotional mirroring is a form of understanding. When she mirrors your energy, it shows she's not just listening to your words, she's feeling your emotions. If you're calm, she tends to soften. If you're thoughtful, she becomes more reflective. If you're hopeful, her voice naturally brightens. This isn't performance, it's empathy. She's allowing your emotional state to guide her response, not because she's trying to please you, but because she's genuinely present. It's how emotionally aware people connect, by tuning in to the emotional frequency of the person they care about. 2. It shows she's emotionally safe with you. People can only mirror what they feel safe to express. When a woman mirrors your calmness, it's because she trusts that your energy won't hurt her. When she mirrors your stillness, it means she feels secure enough to rest there. You'll notice it in quiet moments, the kind where neither of you says much, but there's peace instead of pressure. That emotional synchrony can't be faked. It's a reflection of trust and of the steady presence you bring into the space between you. 3. Her tone and tempo start to match yours. Pay attention to her speech patterns, her laughter, or even how she breathes during a conversation. When she's emotionally connected, her pace will often begin to align with yours. If you speak softly, she does too. If you take your time to respond, she waits instead of interrupting. This kind of mirroring shows patience and mutual respect. It reveals that she's not just hearing you, she's in rhythm with you. That shared rhythm is the foundation of emotional balance in any relationship. 4. She adapts to your emotional state without losing herself. True emotional connection isn't about becoming identical. It's about understanding without absorbing. When a woman mirrors your emotional energy in a healthy way, she remains herself while still showing compassion. If you're stressed, she offers calm. If you're joyful, she joins in your happiness. If you're quiet, she doesn't pressure you to talk. It's emotional maturity, the ability to meet someone where they are without losing your own footing. That balance is one of the most beautiful forms of emotional giving. 5. Her body language aligns with yours. Emotional mirroring doesn't happen only in tone. It appears in posture, gestures, and movement too. You might notice she leans forward when you do, relaxes when you exhale, or tilts her head the same way when listening. These are unconscious signals of connection, her body reflecting the emotional safety she feels around you. It's not flirtation, it's resonance. Our nervous systems communicate silently long before words do, and when her starts responding to yours, it means she feels in tune, both emotionally and psychologically. 6. She adjusts her emotional energy to support yours. There's a quiet kind of generosity in emotional mirroring. When she senses you're weary, she becomes gentler. When you're focused, she becomes steady. When you're excited about something, she celebrates with you. This adaptability is her way of showing care without words. It's her emotional intelligence in motion, the ability to sense what someone needs and to respond with empathy rather than demand. It's not about imitation, it's about emotional support through presence. 7. She notices when you shift, even slightly. You may not always express what you're feeling directly, but if she's emotionally attuned, she'll notice small changes in your energy. Maybe your tone lowers, your eyes soften, or you pause longer than usual. And she'll gently ask if you're okay. That awareness shows she's not just present, she's connected. When someone starts picking up on subtle emotional cues without being told, it's because they've learned the quiet language of your emotions. That's what mirroring really means. Not copying, but understanding without instruction.
Number 6. She starts including you in her future thoughts. There's a quiet moment that changes everything. Not with grand gestures or dramatic confessions, but with something subtle, thoughtful, and deeply human. You'll notice it not in what she says directly about you, but in how she begins to think about tomorrow, and how, slowly, you start showing up in it. When a woman starts including you in her future thoughts, it's not about planning a life together right away. It's about trust, comfort and emotional alignment. It's a sign that she sees you as someone stable, dependable, and worth investing her time and energy in. She begins to imagine what life looks like with your presence in it, not as a fantasy, but as something that feels natural. Below are the key reasons and signs behind this shift, explained with care and depth, and in a way that honors her thoughtfulness. 1. She feels emotionally safe around you. A woman cannot envision a future with someone unless she feels emotionally secure. Emotional safety doesn't mean you never disagree. It means she knows her voice will be heard and her feelings will be respected. When she feels understood instead of judged, she starts to let her guard down. Over time, that comfort naturally extends into how she talks about the future. She'll mention things like, "Next time we go there," or "Maybe we can do that together someday." These small, forward-looking remarks are subtle expressions of emotional safety. They tell you she trusts you enough to let you walk beside her in thought, even before any promises are made. 2. She begins to see you as a consistent part of her life. Consistency is quiet, but powerful. When your actions match your words, when you show up, listen, and keep your promises, she begins to count on you without even realizing it. That reliability makes her feel comfortable weaving you into her everyday thoughts. Maybe she starts planning events and casually assumes you'll be there. Or she mentions a movie coming out months from now and says, "We should watch that." It's not just conversation filler, it's a reflection of how she perceives your place in her world. You've become part of her rhythm, part of her mental landscape. 3. She shares long-term goals with you. At first, she may talk about short-term things, plans for the week, or something she's excited to do soon. But gradually, the topics deepen. She starts mentioning her dreams, values, or life goals. What's meaningful here isn't just that she shares them, it's that she includes you in the frame. She might say, "I'd love to travel more someday. Maybe we could go hiking somewhere peaceful." Or, "I think I want to learn another language next year. You'd enjoy that too, right?" This is how emotional investment often reveals itself, not in romantic declarations, but in thoughtful inclusion. 4. She respects your ambitions and aligns her vision. When she starts imagining a future that involves you, it's not about changing you, it's about understanding you. She'll take interest in your plans, not to control them, but to see how they might align with hers. She may ask, "Where do you see yourself in a few years?" Or, "Would you ever consider living somewhere different?" These questions aren't idle curiosity. They're quiet explorations of compatibility, her way of seeing whether your paths might walk in harmony. If your goals complement hers, she'll begin shaping her future thoughts with that sense of alignment. It's mutual growth, two people becoming aware of how their individual dreams might coexist. 5. She starts using "we" instead of "I." Language is revealing. You'll notice the shift from "I might go there someday" to "we should go there someday." This small change reflects a larger internal evolution. When she starts using "we," it's not an accident. It means she's no longer thinking of experiences in isolation. Your presence has naturally woven itself into her story. That shift isn't something forced. It happens because she's emotionally connected and genuinely sees you as part of her upcoming chapters. 6. She brings you into conversations about family or friends. When she begins mentioning you in stories to her close circle or references how you'd get along with certain people, it's a meaningful sign of inclusion. She might say, "My dad would like your sense of humor," or "You and my friend Sarah would probably have a deep conversation about that." It's not about introducing you formally. It's about mentally integrating you into the broader world she cares about. When a woman does this, it shows she's not keeping you separate. She's picturing you alongside the people who matter most to her. 7. She mentions future seasons, events, or traditions with you. Sometimes her way of including you in her future is beautifully simple. She'll say things like, "I can't wait to see how you handle the winter. It's your favorite season, right?" Or, "Next summer, we should go back there when it's warmer." Or, "I'm already thinking of making that recipe again next year. You'll have to try it." These little forward-looking remarks reveal comfort and anticipation. They mean she's already thinking about continuity, moments shared not once, but again.
Number 7. She's softly protective of you. When a woman truly begins to care for someone, her affection doesn't always appear in dramatic gestures or grand declarations. Instead, it often shows up in small, quiet moments. The way she looks out for you, checks in without being intrusive, and shows concern in ways that feel genuine rather than controlling. This kind of protection isn't about possessiveness or dominance. It's not about claiming you. It's about caring for you. It's her way of saying, without words, your well-being matters to me. Soft protectiveness is one of the most overlooked yet profound signs of emotional connection. It grows not out of fear, but from respect, loyalty, and deep empathy. Let's explore the deeper layers of what it means when a woman is softly protective of you, and what this quiet expression of care truly reveals. 1. She pays attention to your emotional state. When she's emotionally connected to you, she begins to notice small shifts in your mood, even the ones you think you've hidden well. If you seem quieter than usual, she'll ask softly if you're all right. If you seem tired, she might remind you to rest or take a break. This isn't about monitoring you. It's about emotional awareness. She's tuned into your energy because she genuinely wants to understand what's going on beneath the surface. That's what makes this kind of protection so unique. It's not loud, but it's present. It's not demanding, but it's attentive. 2. She encourages you to take care of yourself. When a woman begins to care deeply, she starts wanting to see you healthy in mind, body, and spirit. She might gently remind you to eat when you skip meals, suggest you take time for yourself when you're stressed, or support you in pursuing habits that bring balance to your life. These gestures may seem simple, but they come from a deep emotional place. She's not trying to manage you. She's expressing love through careful encouragement. It's her way of saying, you deserve to feel your best, and I'll quietly remind you of that when you forget. 3. She defends you in subtle ways. A softly protective woman will stand up for you even when you're not there to see it. If someone speaks unfairly of you, she'll calmly correct them. If someone dismisses your efforts or misjudges your intentions, she'll offer a balanced perspective in your defense. This kind of defense isn't about confrontation. It's about loyalty. It shows she holds respect for your character, even when others might not fully understand you. She values your dignity enough to protect it in your absence, and that, more than words, shows quiet devotion. 4. She's calmly protective of your peace. When she senses you're overwhelmed or carrying too much, she tries to bring calm rather than chaos. She doesn't add to your stress, she tries to ease it. She'll avoid unnecessary drama, choose her words thoughtfully, and approach you with gentleness when you're struggling. This is one of the most beautiful forms of emotional maturity, protecting someone's peace without asking for recognition. It's the emotional equivalent of placing your hand on your shoulder and saying, "You're safe here. You don't have to carry everything alone." 5. She wants to understand what hurts you, not just fix it. When a woman is softly protective, she doesn't rush to give advice or solutions. She listens first. She wants to understand what's really affecting you, the deeper reasons behind your frustration or sadness. This kind of empathy takes patience and emotional depth. It's protection through understanding, not control. She's not trying to take away your pain. She's trying to make sure you don't face it alone. 6. She's attentive to your boundaries. Paradoxically, one of the strongest ways a woman shows protectiveness is by respecting your space. She knows when to be close and when to step back. If you need time alone, she doesn't take it personally. If you're focused on work or self-reflection, she gives you the room to do it. This kind of restraint doesn't mean she cares less. It means she trusts you and honors your independence. Her protection extends to your freedom, which is one of the purest forms of emotional respect. 7. She notices what you don't say out loud. Sometimes, soft protectiveness appears in the way she reads between your words. She senses when you're hiding pain behind a calm tone or humor. She might gently ask, "Are you really okay?" Not to pry, but because she can feel what others might miss. This sensitivity comes from connection, from paying attention long enough to know the difference between your "I'm fine" and your "I'm holding it together." It's not a skill everyone has. It's something that comes from genuine care.
Number 8. She begins to respect your solitude. There comes a point in a connection between two people when silence, distance, and solitude are no longer misunderstood. What once may have been seen as withdrawal or disinterest transforms into something far deeper, a quiet understanding that solitude isn't rejection, it's restoration. When a woman begins to respect your solitude, it's a sign that she sees beyond her own expectations. She recognizes that peace is not a wall between two people, but the foundation that allows true connection to breathe. Below are the reasons, each with deeper detail, behind why this shift in understanding matters so much, and what it reveals about her emotional maturity and respect for you as a man who values stillness and self-reflection. 1. She understands that silence isn't emptiness. At first, silence can feel uncomfortable. Many people mistake it for distance, indifference, or disconnection. But when she begins to respect your solitude, she learns to see silence for what it truly is, a form of peace, not absence. She notices that when you retreat into your quiet space, it's not to push her away, but to reconnect with yourself. She realizes that solitude is your way of refilling what the world drains from you, your patience, your energy, your clarity. Rather than demanding to fill that silence with words or constant interaction, she begins to let it exist without fear. This shows she trusts you enough to let you be yourself, even when that self needs to be alone. 2. She recognizes that solitude strengthens, not separates. A woman who respects your solitude starts to notice something profound. You return from your quiet moments clearer, calmer, and more grounded. Instead of feeling neglected during your alone time, she sees how solitude helps you become the best version of yourself. She begins to understand that solitude isn't about escape, it's about balance. You're not pulling away from the connection, you're fortifying it. And rather than reacting with insecurity, she supports this need, knowing that when you take care of your inner world, you show up with a steadier presence in the outer one. 3. She no longer takes your distance personally. It takes emotional maturity to not take someone's solitude as a personal rejection. When she begins to respect your solitude, she stops assuming your quiet moments are about her. She realizes that your need for space isn't punishment or indifference, it's a rhythm, the natural ebb and flow of a thoughtful man's inner life. Instead of filling that space with overthinking, she fills it with trust. She starts to appreciate that love doesn't need constant attention to remain alive. Sometimes it simply needs room to breathe. That's when peace replaces insecurity. 4. She learns to value stillness herself. When she sees the calmness and renewal that solitude brings you, she begins to seek her own. She starts to discover how quiet moments help her think more clearly and feel more grounded. This shared appreciation for stillness becomes something you both honor, not as isolation, but as a shared language of respect. Your calmness begins to influence hers. She no longer sees being alone as something to avoid, but as something to cherish. And in this quiet understanding, both of you find a deeper level of connection, one that doesn't depend on constant noise, but on mutual peace. 5. She trusts you more deeply. Respecting someone's solitude requires trust. It means believing that the other person's need for quiet is not a threat to the relationship. When she honors your solitude, she's saying, without words, "I know you're not leaving, you're just finding yourself again." This kind of trust isn't loud or dramatic. It's patient, calm, and steady. It doesn't demand updates or explanations. It simply allows space for you to be who you are, knowing that your presence remains even in your silence. 6. She stops trying to fix what isn't broken. Before she understood your solitude, she may have worried when you pulled back. She might have tried to draw you out, to make conversation, to fix what she thought was wrong. But now she knows better. She sees that solitude isn't a symptom, it's a strength. It's how you process, reflect, and recharge. Instead of interrupting that process, she learns to let it unfold naturally. And in doing so, she begins to admire the quiet confidence you carry, the kind that doesn't rely on attention or approval to feel whole. 7. She begins to match your energy. When someone respects your solitude, they naturally slow down too. She starts to mirror your pace, becoming more deliberate in her actions, more thoughtful in her communication, and more at ease with stillness. You might notice her giving you space without needing to announce it. Maybe she sends a brief, gentle message instead of filling your phone with notifications. Or perhaps she simply allows time to pass quietly, knowing you'll reach out when you're ready. This is not withdrawal, it's harmony. It's two people existing peacefully in their own space, yet remaining emotionally connected.
Number 9. She shows up consistently, even in the small things. Consistency is one of the quietest yet most powerful indicators of someone's genuine care and respect. While grand gestures can be impressive, it's the small, repeated actions over time that reveal true commitment and attention. When a woman shows up consistently, even in the smallest ways, she is demonstrating her reliability, her attentiveness, and her emotional investment in the relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, or professional. Here's why this sign matters so much and how to recognize it. 1. She remembers the details. Consistency often shows itself through memory. She doesn't just nod along during conversations or react in the moment. She recalls the things that matter to you, even after days, weeks, or months. For example, she remembers your favorite drink, meal, or snack. She recalls important dates like birthdays, anniversaries, or milestones in your life. She notices subtle changes in your mood or energy. This attention to detail is more than habit. It's a reflection of her genuine interest and care. It shows she values your presence and wants to make you feel acknowledged, understood, and seen. 2. She follows through on promises. Actions speak louder than words. A woman who shows up consistently doesn't just make promises, she fulfills them, even when they are small or inconvenient. Examples include sending a message when she says she will, helping you with something she offered to do, or being present for events or moments she committed to attending. Consistency in these small matters creates a foundation of trust. You know that when she says she'll do something, it's more than lip service, it's reliable action. 3. She offers support regularly, not only in big moments. Many people reserve attention and support for major events, but a woman who shows up consistently understands that emotional support is about presence, not spectacle. She might check in on you during a stressful week, listen when you need to vent, even if nothing dramatic is happening. Celebrate small wins, achievements, or positive changes in your life. Showing up in everyday moments communicates that she values you as a person, not only when life demands grand gestures. 4. Her communication is steady and reliable.
Consistency is also reflected in how she communicates. She doesn't vanish for long stretches without explanation, nor does she contact you only sporadically when convenient. She might send thoughtful messages consistently, respond with care, attention, and timing that shows respect for your schedule. Maintain a steady tone in her words, calm, patient, and considerate. This kind of regular communication fosters stability and reassurance, which are essential for meaningful connections. 5. She invests time without expecting recognition. A woman who shows up consistently often does so quietly, without seeking praise or acknowledgement. Her actions are sincere and intentional, not performative. Examples include helping you with tasks you know you struggle with, offering advice or guidance when she senses you need it, simply being present during mundane, everyday moments, like a walk, a cup of coffee, or a quiet conversation. Her consistency isn't about recognition, it's about commitment. It signals that she genuinely cares and wants to support the relationship through both ordinary and significant moments. 6. She creates reliability through habit. Consistency builds trust because it establishes predictability. When she consistently shows up, you start to feel that you can depend on her, which fosters a sense of security and stability in the relationship. For example, she might regularly call or check in at specific times. She keeps routines she shares with you, like weekly meetups, conversations, or shared activities. This kind of steady presence demonstrates that she prioritizes the relationship and treats it with respect and thoughtfulness.
Number 10. Her energy feels peaceful around you. There's something unique about the presence of a person whose energy feels peaceful. When a woman exhibits this, it's not just about calmness, it's a reflection of comfort, trust, and emotional alignment. Here's a detailed look at why her energy feels peaceful around you and what it reveals about her connection with you. 1. She's fully present. When her energy feels peaceful, it often means she is genuinely present in the moment with you. She isn't distracted by her phone, external stressors, or preoccupations. Instead, she listens, observes, and engages without reservation. This presence creates a sense of serenity because it signals that she values the space and interaction she shares with you. Being fully present allows her energy to flow naturally, without tension or pretense. The peaceful aura comes from her focus on what is happening now rather than on anxieties or expectations. 2. She feels safe with you. Peaceful energy is rarely accidental. It grows out of trust. When a woman feels safe around you, she doesn't feel the need to perform, guard herself, or assert control. This safety can come from the way you communicate, respect her boundaries, and handle yourself with integrity. When she trusts that your intentions are genuine and consistent, her nervous energy diminishes and a calm, relaxed demeanor naturally emerges. The peace she radiates is, in essence, a reflection of the comfort she feels in your presence. 3. She mirrors your calm. Energy is contagious. If you approach situations with composure, patience, and steadiness, she may subconsciously mirror this energy. This doesn't mean she's imitating you, but rather that your presence allows her to lower her defenses and relax. Your calmness becomes a kind of anchor. In your presence, her thoughts aren't racing, and she doesn't feel the need to overanalyze. This mutual tranquility reinforces a peaceful atmosphere that feels effortless. 4. She communicates thoughtfully. Women who radiate peaceful energy often speak and act with intention. They avoid unnecessary conflict or impulsive reactions. Instead, her words and actions are measured, thoughtful, and considerate. This doesn't mean she suppresses herself. It means she chooses when and how to express her thoughts. The result is an interaction that feels smooth, reassuring, and stress-free, further amplifying the sense of peace around you.
5. She exhibits emotional stability. Peaceful energy often correlates with emotional stability. She has an internal sense of balance that prevents her mood from swinging wildly or causing tension in interactions. Being around someone emotionally grounded reduces anxiety and creates space for open, calm conversations. Her stable energy provides a sense of consistency, which allows you to feel at ease without guessing how she might react in any given situation. 6. She respects boundaries, both yours and hers. A woman whose energy feels peaceful is conscious of personal boundaries. She knows when to step in, when to step back, and how to navigate interactions without forcing closeness or imposing her presence. Respecting boundaries creates a rhythm that feels natural. This awareness prevents tension, miscommunication, or discomfort, making her company feel inherently calming and predictable in the best way. 7. She doesn't seek drama. One of the clearest signs of peaceful energy is the lack of unnecessary drama. She doesn't bring petty complaints, emotional outbursts, or exaggerated reactions into your space. Her focus is on meaningful interactions rather than on conflict or competition. This calm demeanor allows you to focus on constructive communication and shared experiences rather than managing stress or navigating emotional turbulence. 8. She encourages positive energy around you. Peaceful energy is also reflected in her ability to foster positivity around you. She notices moments of tension and naturally works to diffuse them with her presence or words. She creates an environment where you can feel relaxed, heard, and accepted. By encouraging this positive energy, she contributes to a sense of mutual respect and harmony, which strengthens your bond and makes her presence consistently soothing. 9. She balances openness with self-containment. Part of what makes her energy peaceful is her balance between openness and self-containment. She shares thoughts and emotions without overwhelming you and remains composed even when discussing challenges. This balance allows interactions to flow naturally without emotional volatility. You feel supported without being burdened, and her energy feels gentle, steady, and reassuring.